Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Great news, my friends. It's time once again to journey into that tense, terrifying, yet always terrific world of Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. And this time we'll be tackling Season 2, Episode 19, Mr. Dingle the Strong. And if Rod Serling is to be believed, we'll be watching this with Mr. Burgess Meredith. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for the Twilight Zone or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now. And what is now? Now it's time for Mr. Dingle the Strong, the 19th episode of the second season of the one and only Twilight Zone. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go.
Uniquely American institution known as the Neighborhood Bar. Reading left to right are Mr. Anthony O'Toole, proprietor, who waters his drinks like geraniums, but who stands foursquare for peace and quiet and for booths for ladies.
One of the best lines I've ever heard. Waters his drinks like geraniums.
And this animated citizen is every anonymous bettor who ever dropped money in a horse race, a prize fight, or a floating crap game. And this is Mr. Luther Dingle, a vacuum cleaner salesman whose volume of business is roughly that of a valet at a hobo convention. He's a consummate failure in almost everything.
No.
3 umpires call a man out. I call a man out. 60,000 fans call a man out. You and I got an even bet, pal. I happen to have the Pirates. You got the Dodgers. That means you owe me $5.
I know a bum call when I see one.
Huh.
And furthermore, Callahan, you're nothing but a cheating insult to the American bookie.
Let's fight.
Callahan, I told you once before already. You started another brawl in here, and I'm going to fix that mouth of yours so any future drinking you're going to do is going to be through a tube stuck in a vein.
Me?
Wow.
His father owes my father from the second Dempsey-Tunney fight.
Yeah. Well, mainly on account it was a bum call, that's why. Did you see the Tunney fight? Remember the referee with the long count? The guy was knocked clear out of the ring.
Mr. Dingle's like, no, I don't remember.
Did you watch the game on television last night? You talk about bum calls. Duke Snyder was up, and it was in the 9th inning.
Don, you made the bet, buddy.
Exceptional defensive play, exceptional. Abner Doubleday would have been proud.
Never mind about having a double day. I'm going to leave it up to you.
Whoa.
When striking the ground and hitting the batter, the rules very definitely state that the batter was out.
Yes, the man, you got an answer.
Like everybody has been telling you.
You're calling me a liar. Now, I'm not an unreasonable man, so I'm going to give you one more chance.
Yeah, you're a liar.
Well, it's my considered opinion.
What?
How come you got to always be hitting Dingle? Now, you hit him last week, you hit him a week before.
A man can only stand so much.
You told him you're going to eat through a tube. He punches one of your customers over the...
And when you die, my friend, they're going to have to screw you in the ground.
Am I crooked? How about that? Tell him. You got to believe.
I don't know, you just knocked me out, dude.
Dingle, for once, why can't you be neutral?
How is it Dingle's fault? It's not like he made anything up.
And these two unseen gentlemen are visitors from outer space. They are about to alter the destiny of Luther Dingle by leaving him a legacy.
That is the most shocking thing I've ever seen in Twilight Zone.
Perennial punching bag who missed even the caboose of life's gravy train will take a short constitutional into that most unpredictable region that we refer to as the Twilight Zone.
Rod, buddy, holy crap. Your lines are out of this world.
Tell him. You tell me. Would I ever do anything wrong about that when it comes to a...
Let go of me.
You sure we're invisible? Beyond any doubt. I wish they were.
This is insanity. This is the goofiest thing I've seen.
You have a brain of your own, don't you? You have your own viewpoint? What did you think of the Phillies of 1953?
Are you...
The one in the middle, the one who just suffered the physical damage. He may be the very one we've been looking for. How do you mean? Silence. I'm receiving his waves. Name is Dingle. Abject coward, decidedly a sub-physical type. You intend to give him the additional strength? We haven't found anyone weaker, have we?
This is hilarious.
In other words, you're telling me that you thought Robin Roberts had more stuff than Clem Labine?
Yes.
Come on already, take your pick.
Roberts?
Dude.
You start one more rough house in here, and I'm not going to let you come back through that door. Now look what you've done to this poor guy.
The other guy was going to hit your violent a patron, and you said you were going to put a tube in him.
Let him have it.
Wow, is this goofy? Did they really have to disappear?
Dingle, would you mind a little advice?
Would you mind some advice about running your business?
Now, you want to know my advice for what you should do for the rest of your life?
No.
Just don't talk. Just nod. Somebody asks you who you like in the third, you just smile.
Can I give you some advice? Sell your business.
Where's what?
What is it? Vacuum cleaners. Light as a feather. But I didn't know it was this light. Well.
I always figure for a nice guy. You never caused me no trouble. Now, why all of a sudden do you gotta wreck my front door?
I don't know, because you're letting people beat me up?
Doors seem to come right off in my hands.
Dingo, I think you should go back in here and just beat the hell out of all these guys.
Did my old man say he was gonna punch you in the nose if you came around here bothering us again?
I'm going to throw you to the moon. How's that sound?
Now, that's not best of all possible manners, is it?
Throw it back to him. Put some heat on it, Dingle.
And throw my ball back.
All right. I'll run out for the pass.
Hey, mister, where'd you learn to fling a ball like that?
Your mom! Oh, Luther, I want you to start throwing hands, man. This world's... You have a chance to... Yeah, we go. Destroy everything.
Handles like they used to, do they? Eh? Oh, I'm sorry.
Love it. This guy doing some hellacious stunt work on the ladder.
Would you mind answering a question?
That depends.
Well, I don't know. You sat down on my bench and there's like 3 of them in that are empty.
Do I appear abnormal in any way?
Not at all. Not unless you plan to use that in the park.
Do you know that up until a few hours ago, I sold those? I went through the motions. I was a very bad salesman.
Did they can you or did you quit?
Upholstery nozzle. And I sold it to a drunk who thought it was a divining rod for alcohol.
Oh, that'll work.
What?
Go pick up... No, not the bench. Go pick up the statue. Now that I've terrified you.
With a rock?
That's right. Incidentally, what's the gag?
There's no gag, see?
I'm just breaking these sumbitches. There you go. We're at the intermission. Somebody try to stop me. I'm Luther Dingle. I love it. Oh, that's an awesome picture. Now, we saw Rod smash the alarm clock in the outro. Something tells me that alarm clock is not long for this world. Yep. I remember there was a Superboy comic one time about the Kents teaching Superman how to limit his strength, like so he wouldn't break things when he was picking it up, when he kept getting stronger and stronger. And I always thought that was very, very interesting. How difficult it would be to be that strong, you know? You just break everything. Like we see him pulling the handles off of shit. Pretty good. That was a good mock-up, too, for that.
Do you realize how much money can be made on a tour with our carnival?
Mr. Dingle, this is a con artist.
This is a con artist.
You're John Q. Citizen. You're Babbitt. You're Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Okay.
You line up with me, I'll get you a couple of real easy setups. Inside of 8 months, I'll have you fighting for the world championship.
Okay, so we have a carnival guy, I'm assuming like a studio guy, and a... Oh, we know that dude. He's from After Hours. He was the floor manager. I love seeing these people over and over again.
Hello there, friends. Jason Abernathy here with your show.
Jason Abernathy's a good name.
And our unusual subject today.
I like how they just went live and they have a studio camera in here.
Care to give us an example of this fantastic, alleged strength of yours?
Are you kidding? Why, I ain't done so much business until tonight they repealed the 18th Amendment. Be my guest, Mr. Dingle.
I wouldn't have gone back to that place for king or country. He pulls it out. It's covered in blood. He punched through it into somebody that was leaning up against the wall. Took a dark turn from me, I know. Sorry. I've been rocking this straw hat since the 20s. Rickles, I'd be throwing you to the sun. I like these practical effects. Send him to the moon.
Wait a minute, Dingle. Ain't you ever heard of bygones being bygones?
Yeah, as soon as we're even Steven. Wow, that was so not Burgess Meredith. These two, this one, whatever.
Give him 20 or 30 seconds more, then remove the power.
Excellent idea. I think we should be off. 3 planets on tomorrow's itinerary.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the most unique trick of all, I shall raise this entire building with my bare hands.
What?
You're gonna bring the whole place down. He's a fake. Just shattered every bone in his hand. That probably hurt.
All right, leave off a poor Dingle here. Now, come on, everybody out of here. Come on, beat it.
We didn't realize that it was a trick there, obviously.
Well, how do you explain the first couple things?
So long, Hercules. I'll bring that thing out of here.
See you later, Mr. Abernathy.
How are you, fella?
Nice seeing you.
Where are you from?
Venus, how about you?
Mars. Conducting experiments?
Yeah, and you? Sudden introduction of extreme intelligence. Find any interesting subjects?
That one over there. He's referred to as a Dingle.
This is crazy. Damn.
Perhaps 500 times more intelligent than the average human.
How do we make these alien kids look stranger? Let's give them Gomez Adams mustaches.
Subdivision of Greppel, which is based on the position of bodies in mathematical relationship to other bodies.
Quickly, Dingle.
I think that the batter will unquestionably hit a home run.
A home run by Johnny Logan.
Holy mackerel, how about
As they take the Dodgers this evening 2-1.
Well, that looks like one of my cigars.
Definitive numerical dialectic algebraic and must be further annotated.
Exit Mr. Luther Dingle, formerly vacuum cleaner salesman, strongest man on Earth, and now mental giant. These latter powers will very likely be eliminated before too long.
Go make your money, Luther, quick.
Mr. Dingle lives his life with one foot in his mouth and the other in the Twilight Zone.
All right, everybody, we just finished watching The Twilight Zone, Season 2, Episode 19, Mr. Dingle the Strong, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished Mr. Dingle the Strong, the 19th episode of the 2nd season of the one and only Twilight Zone. I get irritated. I mean, again, some of our protagonists are so sympathetic. They really are. And Burgess Meredith does a great job. This is our second time where I felt, mightily for him. To be very honest, I think I felt more sympathy for Mr. Dingle than I did back with our bookworm. And again, it's because Dingle wasn't, again, not to compare it with his earlier performance, but Dingle was a nice guy. You know what I mean? He was defined as a nice guy who just wasn't a very good salesman. He wasn't very, assertive. He was a little meek. And again, you want to root for somebody like that. You know what I mean? You want to see them succeed. You want to see them overcome sort of these shortcomings that they have and be able to, for whatever way they define a good life, to have a good life, or at least, for the events that transpire here in the Twilight Zone, to end on a good foot. And it's, I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't end well for Dingle. It looks like he might be okay. Again, he's going to have a lot of explaining to do whenever I'm assuming they kind of made mention that this intelligence is going to go away. I just hope he makes a bunch of money before that happens. That would be really awesome. And again, we've talked about it before. The imagination of the audience continues the story to whatever conclusion you want it to get to, a positive or negative one. And again, for Mr. Dingle the Strong, that streak continues. But, having Don Rickles basically beat the shit out of Burgess Meredith was maybe a bridge too far for me, because I was furious at that guy. I was so furious at Rickles that and again, the other guy too, whose name I forget, the bookie, and the bartender, they just allowed him to be assaulted even after the bartender turned to the bookie and was like, hey, I told you, if you get physical again, you'll be taking your drinks through a tube in your arm or some shit. Okay, tough guy. Well, then why didn't you say something to Don Rickles whenever he literally punched one of your patrons who is a very loyal patron who is there week in and week out? You punched him over the bar. And we know he was there week in and week out because they kept talking about, like, last week you did this and you should have stayed neutral. And, when you were in here last week, Dingle, I mean, all that crap. And again, to be able to get those types of emotions evoked inside of a 25, 24-minute episode is very, very... It just, again, we talk about just the construction of the Twilight Zone, how there are so many professionals, so many competent creatives that go into this. I always find it amazing that even if the premise might not be enough, one of our, like, elite type of premises that we've had, they're always done well. You can never look at an episode of The Twilight Zone and go, that was shitty. That was produced, that wasn't great. The acting was poor, camera work was awful, whatever you want to say. You can never say that about the show because they have standards and they try to hit those standards each and every. Do they hit every time? No, because they have impossibly high standards because of The Twilight Zone. But each and every time, in my mind, they put the best they can onto the screen. Okay, so I'm going back and forth with this. I really, really liked the strength gags. I think my favorite one was when he picked, because you could see it as soon as they went to the park scene and that, the statue with the sword held high. You knew he was going to move that around. But I loved whenever he picked it up and kind of assumed the same like sword in the air pose. Really, really well done. But I go back and forth with it because I don't know if they did too many of those like feats of strength or displays of strength, or they didn't do enough, because I think that it was really kind of cool. And I mean, to be very honest, that second time they were in the bar and he was showing off a little bit, we just had sort of like stunt after stunt after stunt after kind of like, trick or whatever, capturing the audience's attention as he went from like one feat of strength to the next. And I did enjoy them. I thought that the ones, I was really kind of curious how they were doing a few of them, especially the barstool one, because I was paying attention to see if they had any type of like string or rope or guideline or back pole or something that was used to help him lift up the stool with one finger. I couldn't see anything. And I think that is so well done to be able, again, it harkens back to the professionalism and really the attention to detail that we see in each and every episode of even the Chaser, they never, which I consider to be, in my mind, is the weakest of the Twilight Zone episodes, but by no means a bad episode. It's just, you're in the heavens here with the Twilight Zone. You are looking at rarefied air and Mount Rushmore's aplenty of incredible stories. And so to even be counted among that pantheon, that's a win. And I certainly don't put Mr. Dingle in the Chaser, kind of like my entertainment or enjoyment of it. But, the irritation level, I always count that as, did they evoke my emotions? Absolutely. And they got me fired up. Don Rickles did. And so a victory there. But I don't know, what did you all think? Was it too many feats of strength or not enough? Like, reaching into the car and the car going sideways and all those things. I mean, that was a lot of really interesting stuff. And I think selfishly, even though they did so many, I wanted to see what they could come up with. I wanted to see, what was the next step? You're going to lift the whole building? Really? Let's see you lift the whole building. That's what I would have, like, go outside and pick it up by the foundation or something. That's what I thought he was going to do. And I wasn't let down. I thought so many of them were so well done. I go back and forth. I'm like, did they show too many? Did that slow down that middle part of the episode, or the latter half of the episode in the bar? And I'm not sure. I don't know. My knee jerk was, yeah, it did slow it down a little bit. But then again, I thought about all my favorite points, and so many of them are part of that montage or that sequence. I don't know, friends. I don't know. I will end with this, though. The vibes I had coming off of this one were vibes that I had whenever I first watched Superman 2, the one with General Zod and all the other Kryptonians that came in from the Phantom Zone. And Clark decided that he was going to, again, this is spoilers if you haven't seen the 1979 or whatever it is, Superman 2. But again, Clark wanted to be able to live with Lois and not have to worry about these powers and being Superman. And so he did something to take those away. And he met somebody in a diner, and the guy was an a-hole, and the guy beat him up. And for one of the most controversial Superman moments, at least before Henry Cavill was snapping necks, was which I love Henry Cavill, but was when he went back after things had righted themselves and he was Superman again. And he went back in there and literally picked a fight with this dude, knowing full well he could tear him in half, literally, and then proceeded to beat the shit out of him. And I, as a kid, loved that. I loved it. I was a bully getting his comeuppance, right? And in many ways, I felt the same way about this one, except Rickles didn't get his comeuppance. And for me, that might be it's an anchor drawing me down a little bit in my joy that if he had thrown him into the sun or just pitched him, this would be an absolute thumbs up. Oh my God, I can't wait for the sequel to Mr. Dingle type of episode. But they gave us just what we needed. Rod always does. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for the Twilight Zone or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear, dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now, unfortunately, it's time for us to say goodbye from this, the 19th episode of the second season of The Twilight Zone, Mr. Dingle the Strong. And friends, as the Greek chorus, somebody that in our normal episodes, in our normal series, we listen and watch what the creatives put on the screen, and as a result of having watched it, we get to become a part of the narrative. We go out and continue their tale, tell other people that haven't seen it before, you should check out The Twilight Zone, and thus we are rewarded by jumping back into the episode we just watched. But for The Twilight Zone, friends, we do something a little bit different. We say goodbye as a result of having watched The Twilight Zone. And I saved this for this part, friends. Our goofy two-headed aliens, or our little mustachioed aliens, they have appeared. And both groups are here. Our two-headed and our little guys that are there. And they are going to reward you with either the strength of 500 men or the intelligence of, I forget how many, 300, 500, whatever it was, multiplied your innate gifts according to their wishes. And friends, I will ask you this simple question. Which of these goofy aliens do you turn to? The Martians or those from Venus? I leave it up to you. Until next time, my friends, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.
Thank you.